Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K edition of Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365, as well as over at the Disney Magic Hour podcast. I will put a link for that in the description. All right, War of the Worlds is here on 4K Blu Ray, and this film is, I would say it's in the upper tier of how I feel about Steven Spielberg films. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's got a lot of screaming from Dakota Fanning in this, but that being said, it's still like a very enjoyable interpretation of War of the Worlds. There's a lot of great action scenes. I've heard like a lot of the criticism that they don't show enough of the alien force, and I think it's actually, kind of goes back to the Jaws thing where, you show less is more. And I feel that they did it in this particular iteration fairly well. I'm very pleased with the overall results of the film, and I'm just a big fan. I really enjoyed this one, and it was really nice going back and looking at the 4K. So we're going to talk about the picture quality and audio of War of the Worlds, but before we do that, let's do a quick unboxing. Okay, War of the Worlds here in 4K slipcover edition. No other exclusives that I'm aware of, but that may change down the line. I know they're doing a Top Gun Steelbook, so they may do one for this. But as of right now, slipcover edition only. So nice front cover. And then we have the back. And then the spine. And then interior. It's just standard fare. And then that's pretty much it. All right. That's it for the unboxing. Now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. War of the Worlds was shot on 35mm film, and it was finished at a 4K DI. So we do have a native 4K image here. And also, as far as the grading goes, we have HDR10 and Dolby Vision. So for purposes of this review, I will be reviewing the Dolby Vision color encode. Okay, so as far as the picture quality goes here on War of the Worlds, I think honestly it is probably the best this movie has ever looked, or is ever really going to look. It is absolutely beautiful to look at. Now, the style choices produced by Spielberg here give it a more of a desaturated look here as far as overall color levels go, and I think it definitely works in its favor. It really brings out those little highlights, especially, any little bits of color tone. But it looks really well done here. And since there's a lot of the movie that is shot at night or in interior scenes, the color is a little bit more, it goes back to a little bit more muted and natural. But I think that the Dolby Vision does a wonderful job here. And just overall, it looks great. Just the little flashes of transitional color in the one battle scene where they're charging up the hill, and you get little flashes of reds and greens. I think it looks great. It looks fantastic, and it's just a nice overall look to it. As far as film grain goes, this has it, and I think it's natural, appropriate film grain, and I like that they didn't apply any DNR. It looks wonderful, and for people that appreciate film grain like myself, it's a very good overall rendering. Black levels are really nice here. Going back to the nighttime scenes, interiors, they look fantastic. The scene where Tom Cruise and his dog, and they look great all throughout the film. I didn't really detect any macro blocking or any kind of compression. It's handled fairly nicely. Detail is also really nice. Up close shots, skin textures are all rendered fairly well, and they're really good. Just overall, the color, everything looks good here. The overall, the film grain, the black levels, the detail, it all stands out. War of the Worlds is a very good, well represented 4K image. Now, as far as the audio mix goes, we're given a brand new Dolby Atmos mix here on War of the Worlds 4K. Now, this definitely has a couple pros and cons going for it. Now, the pro is that the overall experience is a lot more dynamic than we got on the previous 5.1. Everything is firing off on all cylinders here. Mid-level speakers and your rears have gunfire. Things are happening, filling up that back space and mid-level space, and it sounds great. The height speakers, wow. Honestly, it's probably one of the best height speaker representations I've heard. Just everything like when an alien craft is above you, rain effects, those things are all fairly utilized on the height speakers, and it sounds great. It is really an awesome use of those channels. Dialogue comes through pretty clear. Of course, things are going to be a little difficult to understand during some of like the firefight scenes, but for the most part, from your minute to minute, the center channel does its job, and it does it well. The fronts sound great, no issues whatsoever there. They handle a lot of the burden of the action, and it's just really an overall great experience. Now, I will say that the LFE, the base of War of the Worlds in Atmos, took a little bit of a hit. It's a little more restrained. I popped in the 5.1 Blu Ray, and it was definitely boomier. I know this particular LFE has been known to kind of kill a few subwoofers. It's honestly, it doesn't really bother me personally. I like a little bit more restrained at the risk of blowing out a sub. But I can understand where some people would find fault with this, that it really should be a little dialed up a little bit more. I think there's a fine compromise in there somewhere. I think they could have cranked that up a little bit more and give that LFE a bit of a more punchier bass. But I don't feel it's as bad as, let's say, over on the Disney side of things, where sometimes that bass is almost non-existent. But I do feel that it could be dialed up a little bit more, and but I think I can understand where a lot of people would have a few issues. So that is my review. I'm going to go ahead and give the scores of the picture quality and the audio. Picture quality, I'm going to give this one a solid A+. War of the Worlds has never looked better. It looks fantastic. The Dolby Vision does a great job with the color, black levels, detail. Film grain is appropriate, looks fantastic, and just overall a great reference quality as far as picture quality goes. Now, as far as audio mix, A- on that one. I think overall the dynamic range is fantastic. Discrete channel activity is pretty awesome. Just the bass took a hit here, and I think it's a little bit underwhelming in that regard, but overall, the overall package of the Dolby Atmos is really fantastic, and it's definitely worth listening to. So that is it. Let me know in the comments below if you had a chance to pick up War of the Worlds in 4K, and what did you think of it? Does the lack of bass bother you? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.